Hey guys, welcome to this video, and it's time for the review of Huawei Y5 Prime 2018 model. So let's start with the specifications first. Now it has a beautiful 5.45-inch IPS LCD panel at the front with a resolution of 720p and a pixel density of 295. It has got 18:9 screen ratio, so it is narrower but taller. And then we have got 16 gigs of internal storage and 2 gigs of RAM. We have got a quad-core MediaTek processor running the show here, and the battery is of 3020 mAh capacity. We have got a 5 megapixel camera at the front and a 13 megapixel camera at the back. Now when it comes to the build quality of this phone, it's a nondescript design, nothing exceptional here and not anything that you wouldn't expect from an entry-level budget phone. So it's constructed out of plastic and it feels fine in hand, it's easy to use, and the fact that we have got 18:9 screen ratio, it's fairly easy to handle as well, considering that it has got such a large display here. And then you can easily reach the top of the display to pull down the notification panel as well. We have got a charging port down below, camera module at the back, and then we have got our headphone jack at the top. And you must be wondering, where is the speaker? So this earphone here doubles as a speaker as well. On the whole, it has a fairly decent build quality, nothing really fancy or exceptional here. Now coming to the software, it's actually running on Emotion UI 8, which is based on Android Oreo 8.1. And I have to say that the performance of the software isn't really top notch as well. It lags, there are stutters and frame drops here and there, and app animations isn't also the smoothest. So when you're multitasking and switching between apps, you have to wait a bit for the apps to load, and the wait there, you just saw the lag there. And the fact that it has only 2 gigs of RAM, the apps don't stay in memory for long. But the app animations are a bit raw here, they are a bit slow. I think that this software is not fully cooked, and hopefully Huawei can push a software update that can improve things here. But otherwise software is fine. We have got few Emotion UI features that are missing on this phone. So things like screen recording, dual apps, scrolling screenshot, file save, app locker, and screen of gestures are missing. Also one of my favorite features, the ability to add a navigation button down here that you can simply tap to pull down the notification panel, is also absent. So I feel that it's a pity, because with all of these features on this phone, they could have added immense value to this phone's software, but they are missing sadly. And again, hopefully if Huawei decides to push a software update, we can see some of these features in future updates, but not as of yet. But the software picture isn't all that gloomy. It has got some really cool software features. I've made a whole video on that and I will link that up so you can watch it for yourself. Now gaming performance is also not really good on this phone, and I tried downloading PUBG and playing it, and the experience was horrible. It was slow, it was laggy, I couldn't even see my own player. I will try playing this in front of you guys so you can get an idea. So guys, now here you can see that how slow it is to respawn. I cannot see my own player or any other player here, and it's too laggy, and there are so many frame drops, and it's just the worst gaming experience that you can get on any phone. Maybe it's a glitch with the game, but the gaming performance is just not good at all. So there you go, that was PUBG. Now as a contrast, I want to play another game that shipped pre-installed on this phone. So let's play Asphalt Nitro. So guys, that's Asphalt Nitro, and you can see that it's playing fairly well, not as bad as PUBG, but then it's also not as graphic intense as PUBG is. But still I can see lag and stuttering here and there. There are frame drops, not the best gaming experience. So that was the gaming comparison for you guys. You can see that when you are trying to play some graphic intensive games on this phone, you are going to not really like the performance, but you can stick with some low end and low resolution games and get some decent performance out of it. And now moving on to the battery life on this phone. Thankfully it is one of the best features of this phone, as always is with every other Huawei phone. The battery life is great. It can take you through 1 day of work really easily and will not break a sweat. And if you don't use it that much, you can also use it for 2 days. It's that good. And thankfully Huawei has not removed the power saving modes from this phone, so we have got a couple of power saving options here. So we have got the power saving mode, which can increase these 11 hours to 12 hours and 50 minutes, and then ultra power saving mode that can increase these 11 hours to 1 day and 10 hours of battery life. So if you want some extra battery out of this phone, you can use these power saving options. And when it comes to the charging, it takes around 2.5 hours to charge from 0 to 100. Now finally, let's talk about the camera on this phone. So we have got a 5 megapixel camera at the front with a flash as well, and then a 13 megapixel camera at the back. Now you have to remember that this is an entry-level phone, and keeping that in mind, camera performance is very decent when it comes to the brightly lit outdoor situations. So if you've got a lot of light or you're outdoors, you can take some pretty decent photos, and same goes for the front camera, so you can take decent selfies if you're outdoors. And everything changes when you move to indoors or low light situations, because the quality of the photos goes down for both the front and the back cameras. So you cannot take decent photos when you're indoors. The photos come out grainy, dull and fuzzy. It seems like your hand was shaking when you took the photo. The photos are that bad when you move indoors. So let's take a look at the camera app on this phone, and then I will show you the camera samples that I took with this phone. So we have got the basic layout here. We've got the front camera toggle up here. We've got filters, flashlight, and then you can swipe from the right and you can go to your resolution, GPS tag, assistive grid, mute, timer, audio control. So all of the basic camera features are here that comes standard with all other Huawei phones. Then you have got some modes here. We have got our basic photo, beauty, video, HDR and panorama mode. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the photo samples that I have shot over past few weeks, and you can decide for yourself if this camera is for you or not. Now, who should buy this phone and who should avoid it? If you like playing a lot of games on your Android phone, please avoid this phone. If you like taking a lot of photos, again avoid this phone. Now, who should buy this phone? This phone is something that you can get as a secondary phone that you have to keep in your house or at your office just to make calls or send messages. It is also 4G compatible, so you can use internet on this phone as well, or you can also give this phone as a present to your kid as their first phone. But take my advice and do your kid a favor and get him or her Huawei Y5 Prime instead. They would be much more happier with that phone, because that is an amazing phone for the price that it comes for. So that's my review, guys. That's about it from this video, and I believe that if you're thinking of buying this phone, I would advise you to spend a little extra and get Huawei Y5 Prime. That is a much better phone with all of the features that this one has, plus much better camera, much better software features, and a great battery life. That phone is just amazing. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.